Yeah, what up? So in this video, we're gonna talk about how there's no such thing as work-life balance. Not if you want to reach certain goals. So you may have thought before that you could focus on one thing and do all this other stuff. And what you quickly came to find out was that wasn't true. What you quickly came to find out was that in order to progress in that one thing, you had to focus. And focus required saying no to several things, which may include, social events, family events, spending time with family, sometimes sleep, sometimes personal time, fun, just sacrifices in general. Basically, if you're not working, you're working. If you're not sleeping, you're working. If you're not eating, you're working. Now, of course, this is all for payoff. It's not for nothing. It don't have to be like this forever. But in these beginning stages, or just at certain periods in your life, not necessarily in beginning stages, you're going to have to make sacrifices. And most of that sacrifice is going to be time. Especially because you work. Like, especially on those work days. Like, on your days off, you can definitely find more time. But on those work days, time is scarce. So you got to be really disciplined and really create some habits around good time management to get things done. Or you'll find yourself falling behind or not reaching deadlines and goals as fast as you could. So this brings up that idea of balance. Like, there is no balance. There is no balance. I like how that book, The One Thing, describes counterbalance. I like it described that way better, because it was like, all right, like, I do have to make some compromises in certain places to maintain certain relationships. Like, you do have to do that. Like, there are certain things that are just kind of like non-negotiable. But outside of those non-negotiable things, it's work. It's work for hours on end. Like, especially when you get off your job. Like, you shouldn't come home and just be chilling all day. Take your breaks. I do agree with, I do think that you should take small breaks in between your work sessions, just to kind of give yourself a little breather, a little time to reset before you get back to it. But outside of that, there is no work-life balance. A lot of things are going to get sacrificed. But as long as you're working towards those goals that are going to eventually free up that time, that now you can use the time more how you want it. So right now, ain't no work-life balance. Like, there's no work-life balance. And you got to be okay with that. Sometimes it may bother you. It really may bother you. And the good thing is to let those people closest to you, let them know, what's going on. So that way they understand. And the supportive ones will understand. They will understand, because when you tell them what, they're like, hey, it's cool. Matter of fact, they'll ask, how can they support you? That's how you know when you really got people around you that support you. They'll ask you how they can support you. How can they make things a little bit easier on you? And if they don't do that, not even, it's nothing against them. You don't gotta have no angst or nothing against people. Just let it be what it is, and just stay focused on what you got to do. At the end of the day, just stay focused on what you got to do. It's only one thing you can control. You can't control anything outside of yourself. You can't control certain situations, certain circumstances, certain signals that come in, the way people or things react to the way that you do things. But what you can control is how you respond, how you proact. And I say proact because it's better to be proactive than reactive. I mean? Like, do your best to be proactive instead of reactive. There are going to be a lot of things that are going to try to pull your energy to get a reaction out of you. And you got to recognize that. And what I would suggest is, when you do recognize that something is trying to pull you out of your element, my best advice to you is to take that thing out of your energy completely so you can focus. Like, one of the ways things get your energy is by you focusing on them or it. It's not always a person. Sometimes it's distractions. You may have to put your phone in another room. You may have to turn all your notifications off. You may have to delete certain apps that distract you. Like, it's really you controlling yourself, not trying to control others or people outside of you or certain situations and circumstances. Like, control yourself. And the best way to control yourself is to make things habitual. Like, don't always try to rely on your willpower to be there in times when you need it. Like, just build certain habits to the point to where it's just like your body is automatically just doing certain things because you've built habits around it. So, yes, no such thing as work-life balance. You got to make sacrifices if you want certain things. Just make sure, I would just say this to you, make sure the sacrifices are worth it. Make sure the sacrifice is worth it, because there's like, you can't get back time. You can't get it back. Once it's gone, it's gone. So if the sacrifice wasn't worth it, it wasn't worth it. I'm not saying regret it either. Like, don't have no regrets. Like, regrets just keep you living in the past. And living in the past is just waste of time, because you only have now. Like, do what you need to do now, today, for your future. Like, focus on where you're going. Focus on today. Don't worry about the past. Pull lessons from the past, but don't stay there. Don't have regrets. What's for you will be for you. So if anything didn't work out, don't worry about it. It's coming back around. Like, this universe is cyclical. A lot of things just keep coming back around in different shapes and forms, or in the same form, until you deal with them. So just keep moving forward. Don't worry about work-life balance. Just work till you get to where you want to be, which is not really a destination. Like, you got your milestones, you do got your goals, but the work doesn't really end. You just go different ways about managing it over time. So, yeah, don't worry about work-life balance right now. Just keep your head down, get what you got to get done, make sure it's worth it, be clear about where you're going, and make sure the ones around you are supportive. And the ones that are not supportive, just don't have them around you. You know, you control where your energy goes. So don't put your energy in places where you're not getting a return on it. In places where your energy is just being taken, not reciprocated. In places where things are designed to suck your energy and designed to bring you down. And then keep in mind of when you slip into any low vibrational energy, and just, bring yourself back to the center. All right, back to the center, back to the high vibration. All right.